Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, April 18th, 2021. Ascending Through the Niches. A commentary on verses 37 and 38 from Surat al-Baqara by Shaykh Mohamed Faouzi al-Karkari, قدس الله سره. فتلقى آدم من ربه كلمات فتاب عليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم. قلنا اهبطوا منها جميعا فإما يأتينكم مني هدى فمن تبع هداي فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Then Adam received certain words from his Lord, and he relented to him. Truly he is the relenting, the merciful. We said, Get down from it, all of you. Yet assuredly I shall send you guidance, and whosoever follows my guidance, no fear shall befall them, nor shall they grieve. To recap from the previous episode, we said that the purpose of human life is to seek and to transmit divine knowledge. This special knowledge, moreover, is transmitted, verified, and authenticated first-hand by witnessing the star of guidance in the heart. This star, for its part, brings together the fourfold likenesses of light in Ayatul Nur. The circular niche, therefore, is the circumference of the star, and the disciple must learn the language of the niche in order to draw knowledge from it. The vaster the niche, and the more niches or rings one amasses in the heart, the more one increases in ma'rifah, direct recognition or knowledge of God. Light is thus the measurement and the means through which one grows in knowledge of Allah. In this context, the niche marks the contours of the field of knowledge in which one engages. The Prophet ﷺ described elevation and ascent through the presence of God by saying, quote, "The first heaven compared to the second is like a ring thrown down upon an open plain." And then he said the same for the second compared to the third, and the third to the fourth, and so on. So the first heaven is a niche, but a niche that's delimited by the intellectual power of the one who delimited it, namely the Prophet ﷺ, who described it in this hadith about the seven heavens. Then he delimited the second by reference to the third in the same manner, because the smaller is defined by analogy to the larger. This is how the Prophet ﷺ portrayed to us the niches and rings of the heavens. The likeness of the light of the heavens and the earth is an imaginal representation of jama', of union, or the gathering of the divine names and qualities, wherein the totality of the light is likened to a niche. Then in the Sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ provides another likeness of it to add greater clarity, and he describes it according to separation, to farq. He describes the niche according to, or you might say in the manner of dispersion of the names and qualities, making it a series, as it were, of 7 rings, 7 niches. Union, the light of God, is a singular all-comprehensive niche. In dispersion, in farq, it can be described as 7 niches. But what is this niche like? The Prophet ﷺ, he described it, but it's still somewhat ambiguous, and the listener will imagine it according to his intellectual capacity. The niche is envisioned according to your understanding, and the open plain mentioned in the hadith is also envisioned according to the degree to which you trust that God will open you onto its undelimited vastness. The first heaven is a ring, a niche, an intellectual delimitation or qualification in the measure of your intellect, your knowledge, your wayfaring, and your worship in the presence of your Lord. And its non-delimitation or non-qualification is contingent upon your understanding, your reliance and your deference to the unseen knowledge of God, by which you undelimit this delimitation, or by which you unbind this binding, for you are unable to delimit it yourself. This delimitation is in a certain sense theoretical, since it differs according to your state. On Monday, you might delimit it, but if God increases your knowledge on Tuesday, then what you delimited in the past becomes like a drop in the ocean compared to what you have now. قُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Say, God, increase me in knowledge, so that this delimitation is constantly expanding until it seems to you to be non-delimited. You delimit what you have now, and what lies unseen beyond it seems non-delimited to you. For example, if you cannot see the light of God right now, you call it unseen. You say that it's non-manifest because it's invisible to you since your sight is veiled. You delimit what you see, and you deny what you do not see. Even if someone else does see it, it remains unseen for you, but visible to him. Non-manifest to you, manifest to him. Another example. Right now, we believe in the existence of paradise, though we have not seen it. And so for us, it's unseen. But then there's Haritha, the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, who said, "This morning I am a true believer. أصبحت مؤمنا حقا. I have withdrawn myself from the world and gone without sleep by night and without drink by day. It is as though I can see the throne of my Lord before me, and as though I can see the inhabitants of the garden visiting one another therein, and as though I can see the inhabitants of the fire warring with one another therein." For Haritha, paradise was of the visible realm, not the unseen realm. And the Prophet ﷺ, who knew more of this matter than anyone, did not reject Haritha's words, nor did he call them heresy or falsehood, but said, "You have seen, so persevere. Here's a servant in whose heart God has illuminated faith." End of hadith. Therefore, for the one who witnesses this niche, his niche is to be considered of the visible realm. However, the next level for that witness is non-delimited in comparison to this niche, and so for him it pertains to the unseen realm. Such is the nature of the journey through the spiritual realms of the All-Merciful. This is what it's like to journey through the Malakut. We say that this journey involves 2 points, your starting point and your arrival point. When you reach what you once thought was your goal, it becomes your starting point once more, and you proceed in this way. Thus you can never say that you've arrived once and for all, and anyone who claims to have done so has arrived at the pit of hell, for he has reached no more than the torment of his soul. He has reached a delimitation, and now claims that there is no non-delimitation at all. He claims that the visible world exists, but the unseen realm does not. This is why the names of God manifest in opposites. When the firstness of the first manifests to you, you must know that for this first there is a last which is still hidden. When the name the manifest manifests to you, you must know that this manifest is hidden. This is why we say that God is hidden by the intensity of his manifestation, and that he manifests by the intensity of his hiddenness. It was for this purpose that Adam came down, that he might learn what had been hidden from him, and that what was seen to him might become unseen, and what was unseen might become seen. He came down from paradise, which was visible to him, while the believer who is accepted by God rises up to paradise. Adam's fall was thus a type of ascension, because for him the earth was unseen, while for the believer paradise is unseen. You may object to this because Adam was himself created from clay and was a lifeless vessel upon earth until God breathed the Spirit into him and then made him live in paradise. Yet, by the same logic, at the pretemporal covenant of Alastu, when you testified to God's lordship, you too were a pure spirit. But now that you're in the world, that time has become unseen to you, and now you must strive to return to that place and proclaim once more that God is one and that his prophets spoke the truth. Even you fell just as Adam fell. You were in the heights, and then you fell to earth in order to know the totality of the names of God that were present at the time of the covenant of Alastu were not complete until your Lord sent you to the world and made you remain therein for a time so that your knowledge could become completed, unless you turned away from it, as Cain, the son of Adam, did, accepting some names while rejecting others, which is why he slew his brother Abel and became lost. In short, we are in this world to acquire first-hand knowledge of the names of God through witnessing the light, and the yardstick by which we progress on our journey to direct knowledge of God is the verse of light with its fourfold likenesses. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد.